Wes and I just recently took a trip to northeastern um, Oklahoma. And we went to Grand Lake of the Cherokees. We love to go camping, and so we went there for quite a few days. And on the way, we had some quilt related outings, and I want to share some of those with you. So if you live in the area, maybe you can go and enjoy these as much as we did. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different format because I'm going to show you pictures and talk about the pictures. If there's a quilt related trip in your area or that you've seen recently, be sure to put that in the comments below. Other people may live close to you. Maybe I live close to you. Maybe Wes and I will go check him out. So be sure to put those in the comments below. And if you've been to any of the places that I mentioned in this video, please be sure to post that in the comments. So on the way to Grand Lake, we stopped in Blackwell, Oklahoma. Now, Wes had seen an advertisement for a barn quilt tour there, so we decided to stop and check it out. Now, the tour here in Blackwell, Oklahoma is called Top of Oklahoma Barn Quilt Tour, and it is a self-guided tour that features 60 barn quilts located throughout the community. Now, the barn quilts represent the states throughout the United States. There are maps showing the location of the barn quilts online and in various locations throughout Blackwell. In the description below, I have included a link to the website where you can find one of the maps. Now, the first picture here is where we thought the quilt tour began because, of course, it has the sign there saying Top of Oklahoma Barn Quilt Tour. And so we thought that was the beginning of the tour. Now, you don't have to see them in order. You can just drive through the town if you want and look around. But we stopped at this spot that we thought was the beginning. Now, you do have to really look around for these quilts because on the back side of this one, there is another quilt. And I thought that was really, really cool. If I hadn't gone around to the back, I would have missed it. Now, some are in interesting locations, so some of them you really have to look close to find them. There were these two displays that we thought were memorials because it had the person's name and dates on there, and we thought that was, the dates that they had lived. So I think these two are memorials, but I wanted to include those because I thought those were pretty cool. Now, you can walk around in the town to look for some of these, or you can drive. We did a little bit of both. Now, across the parking lot from this sign that we thought was the beginning was the public library. And we did see a barn quilt there, and here is the picture of that one. Now, there were some community buildings along the main street there. I think that might have been their fairgrounds. And there was another barn quilt representing Oklahoma that we thought was pretty neat. So there's a picture of that. And then there was this long white community building, and it had several neat little barn quilts on there. So we took pictures of all of those. But all in all, Wes and I really enjoyed looking for some of these quilts. Now, we went on a Sunday and I hadn't printed out the map. I thought we could get a map there, but we didn't find one because the museum right there was closed. But we did look around and we saw several of them. And it was a lot of fun because we were just looking high and low trying to find those barn quilts. But we really felt like it was a worthwhile stop. The second quilt outing I wanted to share was the Har-Ber Pioneer Village in Grove, Oklahoma. Now, this is a historical museum. It consists of a self-guided tour through about 6 acres. Now, we really, really enjoyed this museum. Throughout this museum were a number of antique quilts. I've included a few pictures of some of the quilts. There were a lot to look at. So if you like to look at antique quilts or just quilts in general, then this is a destination I think you would want to visit. Now, we have visited a lot of museums over the years together. That's one thing that we really enjoy doing together, and we did that a lot when our kids were younger. But this was really a new museum experience. There were a number of buildings that housed these exhibits, and you walked along this pathway. And probably total it was probably a mile to a mile and a half pathway to see everything. But it was just super, super neat, and we had fantastic weather, so it was a great outing, and I would definitely recommend it. I do hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Please share with a friend, and as always, leave a comment. I love to get those comments and try to reply to each and every one. So until next time, have fun quilting.